Today we're taking a look at these college football matches, which are happening on Tuesday, December 27, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. Also, check out our perks and join the High Stakes membership. Joining the High Stakes membership is easy, is cheap, but it will help a lot in the growth process of this channel. Plus check out our Patreon in the link down below if you want access for our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Going back to our video, we will give you 2 betting picks for each game, a team pick and a total pick based on facts and detailed explanation, so make sure to watch our videos till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comment section below. Wisconsin Badgers vs Oklahoma State Cowboys. The Wisconsin Badgers step onto the field holding a record of 6-6 this year. The last time they took the field, the Badgers faced the Minnesota Golden Gophers and ended up losing by a score of 23-16. Shea Malusi led the offense in rushing for the Badgers with 19 attempts for 75 yards, 3.9 yards per carry. Graham Mertz went 16-27 with 170 yards through the air. He had a QB rate of 104.7 and finished the contest with 1 interception. Against the rush, the Badgers gave up 97 yards on 37 attempts, which calculates to 2.6 yards per rush surrendered. Wisconsin conceded 19 pass completions on 29 tries for a total of 319 yards and a completion rate of 65.5%. In the game, they ran 66 plays which totaled 334 yards. The Wisconsin Badgers ended up running the ball 33 different times and totaled 143 yards, which had them averaging 4.3 yards per attempt. Oklahoma State extended the 6th longest bowl streak in the country when it earned its bowl eligibility for the 17th consecutive season. The Cowboys got off to an outstanding start this season, winning each of their first 5 games. Their first loss came to an eventual college football playoff team in double overtime at TCU, which marked the beginning of a downward slide to close the regular season. They lost 5 of their final 7 games and 4 of their last 5, including a 24-19 setback against West Virginia at the end of November. Oklahoma State only covered the spread once in its final 5 games. Concerning scoring, the Wisconsin Badgers are averaging 26.5 points per outing. As a unit, they're averaging 173.3 yards rushing, which is 53rd in the country. The Badgers have tallied 4,354 total yards for the year. With reference to getting the ball in the end zone, Wisconsin has earned 20 touchdowns through the air and 19 touchdowns on the ground. Wisconsin has earned 214 first downs, and they have been flagged for 79 penalties for 731 yards. They have surrendered the ball 16 times. The Badgers are ranked 27th in D1 in terms of the opposition scoring, conceding 20.5 ppg. They are allowing an average of 3.0 yards per rush on the ground and 103.1 rushing yards per game so far this season. For the season, they have conceded 1,237 running yards through 12 contests. Concerning yards via the pass, the Badgers have allowed 2,428 yards, which ranks them 29th in Division I. They have given up 202.3 yards per game through the air, as well as allowing a completion percentage of 60.1%. Over the course of this year, they have given up 305.3 yards per outing, which has them sitting 13th in the nation. They have surrendered 16 touchdowns via the pass and 14 touchdowns on the ground. This matchup will be one of the most disappointing between powerhouse programs this season, after both teams lost most of their star power to the transfer portal or opt-outs. However, the Badgers still have their star running back available for this game, which is going to be the difference maker. Allen has been one of the best players at his position in the Big Ten over the last few seasons, and he is facing a terrible Oklahoma State run defense that is without its leading tackler. He should rush for at least 100 yards in this game, allowing the Badgers to control the tempo and pick up a win in a low-scoring affair. Our first pick is Wisconsin minus 3.5 points. The Cowboys head into this matchup 7-5 for this year. When they last stepped on the field, the Cowboys took a defeat with a final score of 24-19 when they faced the West Virginia Mountaineers. Ollie Gordon carried the rock 17 times for 136 yards, ending the game with 8.0 yards per carry for Oklahoma State. Garrett Rangel finished the game with 178 yards on 18.40 seconds through the air, while his QB rating was 78.5. He didn't toss any picks, and his YA was 4.2. Oklahoma State allowed 41 rush attempts for 250 yards, 6.1 yards per rush. The Cowboys secondary allowed a completion rate of 43.5%, surrendering 77 yards on 10 out of 23 passing. The Cowboys ended up finishing with 358 yards, and they ran 84 plays, 4.3 yards per play. Oklahoma State ran for 4.3 yards per carry, finishing with a total of 180 yards on 42 attempts. Wisconsin is entering a transition period after hiring new head coach Luke Fickell. The Badgers fired coach Paul Chryst after he went 2-3 in his first 5 games this season, but they were able to clinch bowl eligibility under interim coach Jim Leonhard after that. He led the team to a 4-3 record in his 7 games at the helm. The Badgers have the third longest bowl streak in the country at 21 games. They lost 2 of their final 3 games of the regular season, falling to Iowa and Minnesota, while picking up a win over Nebraska. The Badgers have lost some players to the transfer portal as well, including 3-year starting quarterback Graham Mertz. He will be replaced by either senior Chase Wolf or freshman Miles Burkett in this matchup. Wisconsin also had 6 players opt out of this game to prepare for the NFL draft, including star linebacker Nick Herbig and nose tackle Keanu Benton. The Badgers still have star running back Braylon Allen, who has rushed for 1,126 yards and 10 touchdowns this season. He is facing an Oklahoma State defense that has allowed 171.3 rushing yards per game this season, but Wisconsin averaged just 13.7 points per game in its final 3 games of the campaign. The Cowboys did not finish the season strong, and this team will also be without their starting quarterback for this bowl game, since Spencer Sanders has entered the transfer portal. Oklahoma State started the year 5-0, but the team lost 5 of their last 7 games to finish 7-5. The Cowboys' schedule got tougher in the second half of the year, and OSU's offense fell apart, with the team failing to score more than 20 points in any of their final 5 games. The Cowboys' defense was inconsistent as well, giving up 30 points or more in 5 of OSU's games, but the offense was the biggest issue for this team down the stretch. The Badgers once again had an inconsistent season with Graham Mertz as the quarterback. Wisconsin will be without Mertz for this bowl game since Mertz entered the transfer portal. The former 5-star recruit wasn't been able to produce in Wisconsin, and the Badgers' offense once again disappointed this year. Wisconsin comes into this bowl game at 6-6, with the team going 2-2 to finish the season. The Badgers' defense was solid most of the season, but the offense again failed to live up to expectations. The team fired their longtime coach Paul Chryst after a disappointing loss to Illinois at home, and the team recently named former Ohio State defensive coordinator Luke Fickell the new head coach. Interim coach and former defensive coordinator Jim Leonhard has been coaching the team, and he will lead the Badgers into this bowl game. Wisconsin hasn't named a starting quarterback for the bowl game yet. Both of these teams are solid defensively, and both had inconsistent offenses most of the season. These teams will also be forced to start unexperienced quarterbacks since Mertz and Sanders both entered the transfer portal. This should be a game where these teams focus on running the ball and try to let their defenses win the game. Neither team is likely to stretch the field much in the passing game, with 2 unexperienced quarterbacks, both facing solid defenses in this matchup. Our second pick is under 43 points.